the Politics of Meaning Conference. Save it and share with a friend. This is very special. High flew with topics like God doesn't belong to the right. Can we develop a progressive and politically meaningful alternative to the Christian Coalition's contract with the American family? Environmentalism versus the ethos of selfishness. Media cynicism and what to do about it. Revitalizing the labor movement. Economic fears, the breakdown of community and crime. All of these issues dealt with from a hopeful perspective. So, can I get some passes out? This is good exercise. There's the Green Party, which, by the way, has Ralph Nader on the ballot, and you can write Ralph Nader in. If you're registered as a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, you can still write, as I did, you can write Ralph Nader's name in on your absentee ballot when you vote, just to show feeling of concern that not all the issues are aired by Democrats, by Clinton, that some issues need to be looked at more deeply than some common. So I've listed Ed for Congress. Ed Fry's right here. He's running for Congress before the night's out. I'm certain he'll tell you about his campaign, his needs, his numbers there. There's a contact for the Green Party as well, and for to be totally eclectic about it all, I put the Democrat Party, Santa Cruz County in here. The Democrat Party very well use its rank and file, come back, and bring its soul back, bring back some of the essence of that party that seems in peril. Maybe the Republican Party will implode first. What if the Democrat Party melted away and the progressives did not have a well-constructed substitute in place in time? Then could the vacuum be filled by a Perot, a Buchanan, some kind of a radio maniac that would kind of get at the restless protest vote that we think we're in touch with, but give it a rightward spin? It's entirely possible. You could get new two-party systems of two parties on the right with a clever electronic propagandized co-option of the poor, the working poor, unionists, and others. It is possible, like Mussolini, to rally troops from the right. Buchanan has shown how close that can come. And, in this kind of media age, people can be sold things when they're not paying attention, when they don't read, and half the folks are not registered voting. So there's a lot of room to manipulate this country, to tug it around. We could be at considerable risk beyond this election year. I often say, and some of you won't take the extra mile with me, take that step. I often say to Republicans, and I've talked to a college Republican club in Santa Clara, I often say to Republicans, look, people may be in charge at times. You got a governor in California, you control Congress. You may be in charge nominally of all of us. So at least if you can, stand up for individual liberty consistently. If you do believe Ron Reagan's slogan, get government off our backs. I went on KSCO on that slogan. And I had Theodora of the Hemp Council as my guest. Well, Theodora of the Hemp Council wants to get government off the back of people who are growing a few plants for medical purposes. According to Ron Reagan's thesis, we shouldn't have to be having helicopters fly over our gardens. I mean, it's very expensive to fly a helicopter. I don't know if any of you have gone out and priced helicopters lately. You haven't done any, haven't got yourself a helicopter yet. Let's save up a little more. Hey,
$200 an hour, something like that.
Expensive on the gas. The gas mileage is very important. Which is a still respect for some of the good that we do have. And to tell people that are extremists, cut it out. Because we don't want to see more of the bombing. We don't want to see terrorism and death and violence in our neighborhoods and in our cities. Like in Billings, Montana, where they made a movie, Not in Our Town, rejecting vigilantism the rule. And there's that tendency of America when we don't speak up for the vigilantes, for prowling in the dark at all times in American history, to saddle up. Whereas Buchanan would say, lock and load. Lock and load. He wants them to saddle up. We've had them saddled up all through our history, from Salem witch trials, 1619, right through to the McCarthy period. And I think we're in a new McCarthy period now. Okay? So for the 50s, it was Joe McCarthy using the Red Scare and communism. Maybe a sexual McCarthyism might be in vogue now, which would have the most mileage right here in the 90s to scare folks, scare the horses, and get people to pull up their drawbridge and operate out of fear and spark them into anger. And so I'm suggesting that we better leave go our own anger a little bit. But we could get angry, we're human, we could get angry about all this. And we should leave go of our fear too. Get brave, get calm, but to get successful and to get smart, I think we have to frame things more positively most of the time. Try to frame our side positively. And to disarm, like a bomb squad, to disarm the opponent, quotes, why don't we try to look at things more in a negotiations approach? Anything we get to bring a little more compromise buys time for a progressive community to organize. We need a lot of time to organize, get back on our feet. These people have been working at this 30 years. Some could trace it to the John Birch Society in the 50s. They've been working on repealing the civil rights and labor causes from the New Deal to the Kennedy era. They've been working on eliminating that Great Society, the LBJ. They've been working at undercutting what they think of as the left, certainly rejecting socialism and every other kind of progressive reform dreamed up in the 20th century from Europe or America, rejecting labor, rejecting the ethos of liberalism and pluralism and democracy and fair play. And they've decided they have a crusade, God-ordained crusade. They have that momentum. So anything we can do to blow the whistle, get a ceasefire or a truce, in negotiating, even trying to find our common ground, even if it's shaky, will help us buy 10 years. We need 5 to 10 years just to get enough muscle to take on the global corporate dominance of the human race. Ralph Nader's talking about that, how to get a grip on the real power behind the throne, and it isn't the Christian right or the Republicans, it's the corporate world dominance. But to go after that, effectively, it'll take a good deal of percolating at the alliance. It'll take getting Ed Fry in Congress. It'll take having a Green Party in all 50 states, with maybe the makings of a replacement for the Democratic Party over a 5 or 10 year period. So, in the short run, I do think anything we can do to be highly inclusive and hold the center and work with the moderate to liberal churches to hold the center is working like a little Dutch boy putting his thumb in the dike just to prevent the flood from coming through. Then when we can come up with a better dike and a different way to get the flow of history moving again, you know, like after a storm, get the river to flow in its evolutionary pattern, hopefully onward and upward to a more humane human race, then I think we'll live out the rest of our lifetimes as agents of human evolution from a positive, humanistic, hopeful, and ultimately brave and trusting perspective. So I just wanted to kind of come forward a little bit of optimism here with a lot of very practical ideas, as nearly as I can get practical, and then hand out a few things and open the floor for people to react to what I'm saying or make their own statements. This is the Statement of Citizens for Tolerance and Decency. You guys get one?
No retreat on affirmative action. This is the reason that the National now has decided to do their big march in San Francisco instead of in Washington DC, which is where they usually have it, for the simple reason that the kinds of things that are going on now in relation to affirmative action, with the Regents' action to dismantle affirmative action with the UC system, and now with the CCRI, which is the California Civil Rights Initiative, which is such a misnomer, we call it the California Civil Wrongs Initiative, which will utterly remove all civil rights in California, no matter what level, no matter what. So we want to protest that and protest a lot of other things as well, racism and of course our usual reproductive rights and things like that. There are going to be buses leaving from Santa Cruz, and I would suggest that if you are interested in participating in this event, that you go by bus, because there's just going to be a lot of people in Santa Cruz. And in San Francisco, it would be much easier to go collectively. So we have two kinds of buses. If you want to be supremely comfortable, there is a deluxe bus that has comfortable seats in it and a toilet. That's the Supreme bus, right? And there's a sliding scale to that for that of $17 to $25 for the round trip. We will be leaving Santa Cruz at 8 o'clock in the morning and returning at 8 o'clock at night. So it's a long day, but it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. The budget-oriented bus, however, is $12 to $15, and that's a school bus. And that's a somewhat bumpy ride. Don't sit in the back if you could avoid it. I've done it. But if you're interested in going and don't have money to give me tonight, I have a sign-up sheet here. I would like you to sign up and give me the telephone numbers. I can contact you about the ticket purchase. If you are interested in fighting the right, this is a great way to come out and show that Californians indeed are want to maintain our freedoms of all kinds in California. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Hi, this is Bruce Gabriel for Community Perspectives on Channel 71. Yeah, with the question of the week.